Haven't posted a whole lot because I've been gone, but we're here to make some progress on the Porsche. So first thing that I've done is I put in some nylon lines because it had to make this weird angle coming from the strainer up to the pump, and then a new fuel line out to the fuel filter. Just did a dry run test on it, no leaks, pretty cool. So I'm gonna call that okay for now until I can secure the pump in place. All right, next things that we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna pull that front cover off again. I'm gonna put in this new camshaft belt idler pulley. So all this work I did to put this back together, it's all got to come off so I can get to right about here. So only this top cover needs to come off, and then I can get that in there. Get it torqued. I think it's 33 foot-pounds. I'll verify. And then I got a new cap on, but there's an old rotor that I couldn't get off because it was like seized to the drive shaft. So I'm gonna break that off because I chipped some of the plastic on it, and I'm gonna get a new rotor installed. Fuel system's all hooked up. There wasn't any leaks. Checked it under pressure. Everything looked good. So I'm going to say that we're really close here. I got to get the lines on and rerun to all the spark plugs. Probably clean out those wells a bit. And then I've got to hook the starter back up. And then hopefully today I'm going to get under here and hook back up the steering rack. So that'll be pretty cool because that's right about just driving it at that point. And I've got some other things. Like I got a new bezel for the power sunroof. I got this thing that I'm going to drop in here. It looks like it's 3D printed, but it's going to replace the ashtray there. And yeah, I'm missing that bezel, so it just kind of flops around in there. Once this is all running and I can turn the key and just start it, then this is kind of the next area of attack. The brakes are good. Brakes are running well. All the electrical has been sorted out. So really it's just cosmetic things at that point. I can start working on this body work here, getting it ready for paint. And I might replace all the carpet in here. I don't know yet. But we shall see. Hopefully next time I turn this camera on, this car is running. So everything's put back together, started it. This connector's leaking, so I need to get a new one. It's some swivel type connector. It doesn't work really well. I can't get it tight enough. I even tried modifying it and just can't get this crank down tight enough. It just leaks. Anyways, what else? This was huge. So I just bought injectors without really looking, and I searched Porsche 944 fuel injectors. I just did ohm testing on these because when I turned the key, the engine started, and it was like pop, pop, backfired through the intake, and it would try to run for a couple of seconds, and then it would cough and sputter and die out. And I was checking everything. I mean, I rechecked the timing, spot on, so that's pretty cool. I tried swapping the reference and speed sensor, wouldn't start at all. Flipped it back, started back up again, but still did the puff puff. Put on the old fuel pulse dampener, the original. It's right there. Same issue, didn't have any effect. Gave this a pretty good tap, the fuel pressure regulator. I'm getting fuel. I'm getting very decent fuel. I don't know if it's too much or not. I pulled the plugs, checked the plugs. They're there's no wetness at all to the plug. So I was thinking I was getting a fuel issue. So running too much air and maybe just a little bit of fuel, not quite enough fuel, is kind of where I'm sitting thinking is going on here. So I checked the ohms of the fuel injectors and they're 11, 12 ohms. So high impedance injectors, and all 944s are supposed to run on low impedance. So fingers crossed I didn't just blow up my DME, because I rechecked the old fuel injectors and they're 2.5 ohms, right where they're supposed to be, because they're low impedance injectors. Now these are, I don't know, I'd have to send these off to really get them working again. They're not clicking at all. I've beat them, I soaked them. Nothing really seems to be helping. But anyway, yeah, so that's where we're at. I did get the new idler pulley for the camshaft timing belt, camshaft drive belt, idler pulley. I put that one in. It was the right one, so feel pretty good about that. Like I said, all the timing marks are still on perfect, so I hadn't slipped a tooth, wasn't off a tooth. I cranked it over by hand to top dead center, verified in the cylinder that it was at top dead center, checked the timing mark in the back. It was right on. This one was right on as well, so feel confident that my timing is good, because at first it felt like when you have a car that's like 180 off, but backfiring through the intake, I was pretty sure is a fuel issue. The pump is sending fuel to the rail because it was leaking. So this thing here was leaking. There's no ball in it. There's supposed to be like a check ball in there. There never was. I don't know who took it out. So I just cranked this down as tight as I could, and that seems to have fixed the problem. So anyway, what else? Yeah, I lost like one of these, the ends. And the injector clip was broken, so I just bought like an 8-pack of these and put it on, wired it in, and I like that style a lot better than the OEM one. And these are getting just kind of hard, but we'll see. If I get new injectors on there, we pull it off, put it all back together again, we'll see if she runs. So until next time, that's pretty much the update. Fuel pressure is working great. I didn't end up putting on the new fuel filter because the one that was on there looked pretty new. And when I did a flow test up here, I mean, it's sending fuel. It was really clean too. So I'm not overly concerned about that. I do have another fuel filter just in case. But for now, I got to wait until I get a set of injectors in that are of the low impedance variety, swap those out, and a new damper adapter. So that's where we're at. Yeah, no fire today, but pretty close, real close. Felt good when I turned the key and it just literally almost started right up. Anyways, later.